Welcome, I'm Bill Wake. We're working on Fume. It's a financial planning app for medium to long term. Lately, we've been working on net income as a sort of graph, and it becomes very confusing if you have multiple scenarios going on at the same time. So we're going to work out a way to display, well, ideally, I'd like to display what Tuft calls small multiples, so the same graph under different contexts. And I think also we'll make one that just shows one scenario. Right. So we can see the problem here. We've got two scenarios. You either get a job and make money, or you buy a boat and lose money. And they each generate, this generates two possible scenarios. Let's look at net worth. You can see them better. Taking two jobs pays and buying a boat doesn't. Very important to have a tool to help you make these observations. But at any rate, this generates two scenarios. And if we look at the net income by month, we see a very weird graph, like little crossovers and quite odd. It does show two paths of current expenses, but the graph itself is doesn't make any sense. And kind of how could it, right? If they overlapped, they would show, you'd see the area of the biggest and the most positive and the most negative things, but it wouldn't give you a view into each scenario separately. Okay, so having everything in one scenario like this is not good. All right, so the simplest thing I can think of to do is put a little drop down up here that goes through this list of scenarios. Scenario split 1, that's this, with a job, and split 2 is the boat. Okay, and scenario split 1 could be the drop down, then scenario split 2, and whichever one you picked, that would be the one you saw the graph for. And I think that's reasonable, but it's not as nice as the multiple idea, because if you want to compare scenarios, you have to kind of like shift one, kind of hold in your mind what that previous one looked like, and shift to the new one and decide which one's bigger or smaller or whatever. It's just tricky. I think multiples will work great, but even with the multiples, they're going to be small. And so you'd like to see more details on it, and you probably click on it or do something, and it should open up a big version. And so I think we'll, let's make that happen. Let's work on the big version, and then we'll work on the little versions. Okay, and then the other thing kind of on my mind still, and we just touched on it yesterday, but it definitely fits in with the scenarios. We'd like to be able to enable or disable things. And so in this one, I could disable the boat and see what the real picture was with income, or re-enable it and disable the job and see that one. We could make that happen. I think that'd be very handy to have a little checkbox on the side of each to just say it's active or not. So once we finish the graph stuff, I think we'll move on to that. I think we're kind of closing in on the key features. I'm not sure I want to do the flows idea, where you do things like say, well, if I have excess salary at the end of the month, I'm going to put it in my savings account, or I'm going to put it in my investment account, or whatever it is, kind of tie it down to that level a little more. I think that's kind of a different problem. And maybe I should not try and fold it into this one. I don't think it's a bad thing. I mean, I've always seen it presented as kind of an advanced technique to say, how am I going to fund my kids' college? And say, well, I'll take the money that we have for our rental property and I'll move that, I'll let that pay for that for now. That's kind of a handy thing, but I'm not sure it's quite in what I want here. And it's a lot of work. Most of these other things are either kind of pure refactorings or tweaks on the kind of the usability. What happens if two people have the same name? Should we show deleting a person with a strike through? I mean, they're things you would have to do if you were supporting a lot of users, because you'll have a lot of mistakes with more users. but I don't think they're critical for us. So I think these two things we're working on are pretty much the top of the list. Then these other assumptions, I'd like to make an assumption around the death dates, especially, but like date I start Social Security could be a good one too, or date I stop my job. Any of those I think would be helpful. But I think beyond that we have refactoring and UI tweaks to do, and I'll see how far I want to go into it. I think there's some things we could improve noticeably with refactoring, so I might do that just cause. But this week we're pretty full up on features. Okay, so I guess my starting point is net income report for a single scenario. Okay, and we will put a little drop down up here and work from that. That is, well, we got graph view as net worth view, net income view. Let's put it, I think we might want to wrap this thing, because the net income view as we have it would work fine for our little multiple idea, but I don't want the drop down on each of those. That would be painful. All right, so let's make a scenario net income view, I guess. It's amazing how views proliferate. Okay, so new file. This for our body. Make these public. Okay. And so our starting point is just going to be, let's just import the net worth view. And so we're going to need the same parameters. Okay, we'll store those things. And then this is just net income view. Well, actually, it's that line in the graph view. And let's tie scenario net income view in there. All right, so just kind of introduce the new thing, no functional change from it. Looks the same. All right. Now let's make it different. Okay, so I think the big thing different is it needs some state, and well, I think it's just going to be the selected scenario, and it's just going to be an int. And let's start with 0. Okay, and so data is possibility summary. Okay, so possibility summary. Oops, that's not it. Okay, So we have one entry in our array for each scenario. So we really just need to select one of those, and the name is going to be on that entry, and the data is inside it as well. Okay, so this is, I guess that's a picker, right? And let me find another example. So type or growth. Okay, selection is selected scenario. The label is scenario. For each array, well, we've already got an array in possibility summary. Sorry, data. Well, I don't know if that will work like that. Let's put this on an H stack. Oh, great, V stack. I guess our net income view is going to modify to take one particular set of data. Okay, so we have the two things. We don't do anything when they change. Okay. Picker selection N0, it doesn't have a tag. Yeah, I'd really like to tag by the index on the data. I don't know if I can data dot enumerated. Well, I could do indices. Non-constant range, not an integer range. Isn't it? Well, even if it's non-integer, I think we can just use id :/self. Okay, so each number is its own index. You're still not happy. Oh, dot. Okay, so yeah, that should at least select. Hmm. And let's do data dot. Well, the indices that are valid for subscripting in ascending order. That's good. I'm surprised the order is to put split 2 first. But maybe that's not my biggest problem at this point. Okay, so we're selecting them. They're persistent while they're selected. They're not persistent when we restart. But the picture doesn't change. So let's modify net income view. Instead of taking data, well, let's do it kind of the piecemeal way. What we're saying is this should really be scenario summary. Is that what it's called? No. Yeah, scenario summary. Okay. So pass in that, and this can certainly do it. Sorry, this. It passes in data sub selected scenario. And then this one, we'll just take the first one. Is data. Why are you? Oh, missing label. Okay. Is that enough? Net worth view contains display. Why would that affect that one? Did I change net worth view? No. Net income view. Okay. Well, that's good. I don't know. Let me. Breakpoints. Oh, is it a non-optional case? Theoretically, this should be okay. We always put one in there. Does this have the problem without this? Aren't the names in possibility summary? No, they're in scenarios. Yeah, maybe it's just a clean build. I don't know why this isn't complaining though, honestly. Oh. Scenario net income view. Right. Okay. So he should have the same. Oh, well then I think maybe I can leave this out. Yeah. I haven't pushed it all the way out because scenario net income. Well, no, that's not right. Where did I put this thing? Did I put it on net worth? Net income view. Okay, so it's at the bottom. All right, let's make sure guess we should see it with the drop down still. Okay, but he doesn't use it, so he's just got it. All right. So I think we've done enough to say we've create new view, scenario net income view that tracks which scenario is shown. Okay, that's a good job for him. All right, now we need to make the caller show it. Okay, so graph view, call scenario net income view. So graph view doesn't know the scenario. That's fine. And then net income view, I've got this, oh yeah, net income view asks for one scenario. And we should revise net income view to work with that scenario. Okay, so he takes it, but he doesn't do anything with it. So let's add it. Scenario is a scenario summary, and we'll force ourselves to save that. Okay, and now for each data series, let's get the type of this. Is this scenario summary? Yes. Okay, so let's rename this to scenario. And then this can go away. Well, this should work. It's not quite right. Or it's taking in too much data that it doesn't need. All right, well, so much for that theory. No, it's showing all of them for data. All right, I think he's going to have to go over the scenario. And now what's the type of this? Cannot find summary. Oops. I guess it's scenario dot something, right? Or net worth by month. Okay. And this is now what? Well, I think this line goes away. Yeah, it's probably not smart to make them the same name there. Oh, let's take this out. What are you like? Okay. Okay, so now we're running through monthly summaries. We got the month date, the money by type, one for income, one for expense. The rule. Okay, let's see how that looks. boat and we're going negative, job and we're going positive. Okay. I think we've got it. All right. So now, do we reference data at all? I don't think we do. Okay, so let's take it out. And now that should tell us where all those places are that use it. Yes. Data. Okay, this is scenario net income. He does need the full data because that's where the scenario names are. Okay. Let's run. Okay. So no longer needs full data just for the one scenario. Oh, I didn't push. Okay. So at some level, I feel like this is minimal version 1. Okay, so it does the job. It's got the multiple scenarios you can select between them, and everything's good. All right. The next thing I want to do then is let's work out a way to show the multiples. And I guess we'll just make a multi net income view. Okay, now this thing, well, it wants whatever graph you's giving it, so I guess it's more like this one. Yeah, I think I'm envisioning either 2 or 3 across. I mean, there is a grid object, and I don't know. I saw somebody complaining about this the other day. Excuse me. Oh, I watched Paul Hudson had a live stream where he built a little word game and basically just used VStack and HStack because the grid object is just not that helpful in this case. And we may be in the same boat. I really just want a static view of these things. I don't want it to be reorganized and oddly shaped or any of that stuff. Okay, so well, let's just try it. VStack. Oops. And what did he give us options there? Alignment. may come back to that. And then, well, I kind of just want to do, like, I don't know. Maybe I should do the grid first and then go back to this if I don't like that. I haven't used grid. Okay, so alignment, horizontal spacing. Okay, we'll get some help. I think you just put grid row objects or something. I don't know how to get. I just want grid. No, he's doing for each grid row like that. Gosh, I know I've seen examples that. Let's try a different query. Well, maybe I should start there. Okay, grid row. Yeah, multi-column cells. Okay, that's a little more like it. It's got the rows. This one often has nice little articles. Grid, hard-coded. I just want to shove in, I almost like, I don't know, Pinterest or something. You got these little cells and they just fit on and that's what fits and who cares. This stuff is all kind of hard-coded. Yeah. I just want to shove stuff in and have it come out in a grid. Maybe there's a different object for that. Adapt children based on columns. Well, that's kind of promising. Yeah, I think this is actually kind of what we want. Okay, adaptive column. Okay, we have to have that. Well, let's just take this. Keep down here for reference. Okay, in a scroll view, we put a lazy vertical grid. I think we want a horizontal. Let's just say adaptive size and be neutral on that. Okay, 20 for each data. All right. Oh, which one am I editing here, right? Text string item. What's item? Oh, that's the entry in this cell. Should be array of scenarios. Scenario summary. Come on. Okay, this stuff can go. Okay, I've got all the data. I don't care what the... This is just borrowing their look. Oh, I haven't called it. Yeah, maybe we did. Sorry, let's call this. All right. Yeah, that's all right. I mean, it's not what we want, but it's getting there. So what we want is scenario. Nope. Net worth, net income view for each scenario summary. Okay, so net income view, number of months. Won't have titles. Well, that could be a little... It's not impossible. So 150, I think I can go, 300 pixels maybe. But I mean, we get two different views. I need the names on them too. So let's get that in there as well. Title, what's a small title? Title 2, title 3. Try editing grid items on the fly. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I think once in a while you get... Oh, yeah, this is getting there. I think, like, I don't know, I think of little social apps as having, little panels of pictures, and who cares, if there's more than one line worth, it deals with it automatically, and it doesn't really care that you have exactly 3 columns or anything like that. So I think those are the target audience for this. Okay, I mean, this could be, well, let's get this up to 32. And okay, yeah, let's do that, and then let's put another set of scenarios in, and let's force this thing to go bigger. I mean, ideally it would be adaptive, but let's. Okay, so we have split. Let's add split 2. Well, I'll make this spouse 1 Social Security. Okay, income. And this has to start 2030. Okay, what's the matter? We got split 1, so job, split 2, Social Security, 1 and 2. Where's spouse 1? There should be 4 scenarios because we have two scenarios with 2 each. Does our net worth show that? Yes, it's got 4. Why are you only showing 2? Are they... Well, let's... I'm going to shrink it down and see if I can convince it to show more, if that's the problem. Yep. All right, let's just try changing this to grid. He doesn't do this adaptive size thing. He might do the spacing. I'm obviously missing something. Okay, let's... No. Yeah, that's the kind of thing I want. Okay. Grid item. Ooh. Okay. Well, no, that's the lazy grid. He has so much room. Why is he dropping that? And why did the other not... Okay, I'm puzzled why I didn't get something that looked more like this. The grid is highly performant. They also say don't use lazy grid if you can just use grid. So maybe I need to read more about grid. I mean, I didn't put grid rows in. Adaptive columns. Adaptive... Okay, so... Can I do that with grid? Well, maybe I need to just... put these columns like this. Yeah, let me go back to something more like that. So if I put 4 of these in, not quite what I was expecting to see. Okay, so I got 4 scenarios. And Okay, let's look up grid item and understand that. Oh, maybe fixed is what I want. That's what they did. If I'm saying space in there, what do I need it up above? I know I've seen this done. Maybe I'm going the wrong way. But now I won't know if it fits 4. Okay, so now let's take out a couple. I'm just trying to force it to do 2 per row. Yeah, I mean, if it had spaced them out better and everything, it would be kind of okay. And then let's put the device sideways. I think this is going to be the more common way to use it. And then maybe these can be... Well, that's 50. Oh, that doesn't seem... All right, let's take one off. Well, that's just horrible. I've got spacing 50. Lazy vertical grid. I don't... Is it doing them like that? But that gap does not equal that gap. So, like... And obviously, we got padding here. I think I'm going to move the padding up. I can tell we should make this stay too. Okay, that doesn't even seem like it's padded. And this one's cut off. Okay, what's going on? Adapted. Multiple items in the space of a single flexible item. A single item with a specified fixed size. A single flexible item. I don't know if this is hurting me. It's like I have different widths, and why isn't it fitting inside its... Yeah, I'm just puzzled, really. I mean, it seems like it's assigned 3 different column sizes. Oh, well. Okay. Okay, well, I can't tell if they're 3 different widths because they're just way, way, way too big. Which is probably a function of the title. Not wanting to wrap. It's not horrible. I don't know if I had them all in one. Yeah, I don't know. Now that's saying a horizontal grid with rows of given size. Yeah, I don't think I'm doing any better with that. Go back to grid. See if we can tweak that. Well, that's kind of what I want. I don't know why it had the third row. Is it because I forced? Is it because I have 3 here? Will it just repeat if I... No, it won't. Okay, let's go back to grid. And this is going to put them in 1 per row, I think. Yeah. I don't know if I can... I want to do something like this. The thing I'm worried about is if I let's say I did 3 columns and then I have 4 items, I can't just say X row sub 0 plus row 1 and plus row plus 2 and then back to the next row plus 1 or plus 0. It wouldn't come out even. Why this is so close to useful but just not there. I mean, if I had boom, 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 3 across or 4 across, and then down how many I needed, it would be good. Okay. And this at least has them there. Put me down as a person that hates not having the scroll bar visible, but it's not. Okay, and these are coming up as different things, right? 2 boats, 2 jobs. Okay. I know the order is so weird, but grid row represents each column or cell. Right, that's the thing I can't do automatically. Job view without grid row expands across the column. Well, that's what we're getting. Column count. It's just not what I want. Providing the ability to select members. I don't care about that part. A lazy beaker with 2 fixed columns. Well, it's kind of what I had at some point. Okay, so let's. So I think. Oh, I'm mixing them up now. Child using a grid that grows vertically, creating lines illuminated. Okay, this does sound like the right one. Okay, so I think additional views occupy successive cells, filling the first row from leading to trailing and so on. Grid item instances. This is column sizes. Okay. I think that is not helping. Let's try this. One, two, three, four. Okay, so that's okay. That's promising. Okay, good call. Let's add another one in. We'll add spouse 2 SS. Okay, it doesn't multiply until I get a second one in there. Okay, I think that's doing what I'm after. And maybe a little tighter font for the title because the titles get big. More spacing. I'll go big so I can see it happen. Okay. No, it doesn't do any vertical spacing. Is that what this is for? And you can see the boat's still a bad idea. Okay. Scenarios, yeah. All right, so this, I think 25 is probably enough there. This is probably more like 40. Better font. Maybe caption. I don't know what a headline looks like. Yeah, that's getting there. And then if we rotate, it should get maybe fit 4 or 5 in there. Yeah. Okay. Now, the order is a little random, but yeah, this is what I have in mind. Okay, so it scrolls. And right away you can see these boat ones. You can almost pick out the boats because they only go up to 50,000. Right? It's there, but yeah, you can see most of these. Yeah, the ones that are going up are pretty darn similar. But this is definitely where we had this, and we could click this one off and no longer see the boat scenario. I think that would be kind of cool. All right, yeah, I can take this. Now I do wonder the name scenario in there. It's a fine default when you only have one scenario, maybe, but maybe it just doesn't belong there. It'd give you a little more space. But notice the names of the scenario is sort of it's got the name of the top level of that scenario and then a number to tell you which one it is, followed by the name for that one. And all the other choices, because it has to go pick one. Well, each of these 3 options has 2, or 3 scenario things has 2, and they're all cross products, so there's 8 possible, which is good because that's how many we have. All right. Was it this? No, this. Yeah, that's about the right size. I think that's reasonably comparable. The only nice thing if I could, if I could put them all on the same scale, that would be nice. But I don't know. Even if there's a way to specify that scale, I'd have to go dig across every scenario and find out its maximum and be plausible and stuff. So I think, given that the numbers are there, you can make it out. All right, I'm happy so far. Okay, so make multi-net income view that shows a grid with net income for all scenarios. Okay, and that's kind of done to a point. So we did these two things. I got more stuff I want to do, but it's progress. Okay, so one thing is, remember which report you're looking at between runs. Okay, the other is click on scenario to show it full sized. Okay, so I'm envisioning that I would click on this and it would pop up exactly that scenario. And then I must have an X or something to close the window, but it would give me a detailed view. All right, and then this is just remembering this between runs. Okay, so yeah, let's do that one first. It's a little user interface tweak, but it's kind of annoying with apps if you set them up and then you come back in and it's not like you left it. Unfortunately, I can't control this bottom part. I don't know. I'm sure they'll get there someday, but so let's go back to this graph view. Where's his state? Yeah, so he remembers the graph type. He just starts it out net worth every time. Where's my book? I'm trying to clean up my office a little more these days. It may be slightly cleaner, but it's definitely harder to find things. Okay, so we want that environment variable stuff. So, I don't know, do I just put it in? No, it's app storage. That's the one. I think I just declare add app storage and I'm done. Key name. Okay, so get filled in from user defaults, and if you change the variable, it gets persisted. Okay, let's try that. First time through, it takes net worth because I've chosen it. Okay, let's leave this net income by month. And run it again. Hopefully it comes in on net income by month. Yay! Okay. Yes, I like it. And it wasn't that hard. Um, Star graph type in storage. Okay, now this multi-net income view. I don't know, do I have an on press or something? On click? On tap gesture, yeah. Yeah, it's nice to have something fall out easy. Just for a change of pace. All right, so I guess I want an alert, but I need to capture the scenario. Or is there a way to just pop up? I don't think there is, right? I mean, and I think I can get something that won't go away. I don't know. I guess the other way would be like a navigation view, a navigation link kind of thing. Let's try this one. Oops. To closure cell type alert. Well, theoretically, I don't think I need that. The only way you get show detail true is by detail being set, but this is not an alert. Um, going a ways out here. Mm-hmm. That's kind of weird. Sorry, net income view. Yeah. Huh. Maybe I don't want alert. What's my alternative? A sheet. That's what I want. Okay, don't need the title anymore. That may be enough. I'm not sure the button matters there or should be used there. All views with tabs should include the is button or is link. That I wonder. I mean, I don't know why it would be, but maybe it doesn't capture. Let's break there. guess I can keep, oh, I don't have a good way to close it. Okay, we clicked on scenario. Couldn't look up multi-net income view detail getter. Yeah, I think detail is new. Did I not make it state? Oh, I did. Scenario is the scenario summary data for the particular thumbnail view there. I wonder if I just can't capture that, but I'm capturing show details, so why would the one be acceptable? Can you keep the name in the state and get the scenario from that? Well, you're thinking it just doesn't want to store that in the state? I mean, we can theoretically, because we have data, we could walk through until we find a scenario that has that name. Okay, but, well, let's try it. Let's do that far. It's blank. I don't know if I can get a tag somehow. Yeah, I assume so. We really need to get it on a sheet with a dismiss button too, but yeah. Name still empty. Hmm. Okay, that's a good question. Navigation destination is presented. Yeah, so that's using the navigation stack, which is not an unreasonable way to do it. Really. Conduct store view, background. Contact main view. Well, it might be. It's not an unreasonable way. Rather than pop up a sheet, just transition to a new view that you can go back on. Well, let's try it. Navigation view. Stack. I'll take out the sheet stuff. My thing is not hashable, so he's not eligible. Let's go with this presented. be right. Net income view. On tap gesture to that. Show detail to there. It's data. That's oddly slow. All right, let's take a break. 3 or 4 minutes. All right, well, we're back, and I'm noticing this. Do not put a navigation destination modifier inside a lazy container. These containers create child views only when needed. Add the navigation destination outside the containers so the navigation stack can see its... There's a misplaced navigation destination modifier presenting net income view. It'll be ignored. That's pretty well ignored now. Do not put inside a lazy container. Well, I'm back to the same problem then. Wow, I'm getting 1 per cell, it looks like. If I put the navigation out here, I don't know which scenario to use. I can try it, but I'm skeptical. I guess I'm just going to create one that's empty. And then save it here. But I don't think it's saving it, so I think something's not right. He's in female model. He's public. Maybe I have to put the stuff in. Yeah. That's weird. It's public. Wow. Yeah, I don't think that's going to help me any. Right. I don't know. Yeah, I mean that's where we tried. I think we're gonna get that nil pointer again. Yeah. We found nil. So this thing just doesn't. Oh yeah, we could do that. Um, but the thing is, it's not being reset by this code up here. Unfortunately and oddly, I mean, I thought the point of having it in the state was it could do it, but maybe it's something like these are. I don't know if it's the closure. Like it's not really there yet when we try and set the tap gesture. Okay, I think somebody must have done one of these grid apps with photos, and you tap the photo and it brings up the photo. Let's see if we can trigger this. It was on tap gesture. Not quite. Building a menu. Let's go back to his. Where's the yeah, so much free stuff out here. Okay. 100 Days of Swift. Those projects. I'll delete now. I don't think I'm seeing anything that sounds like what we're hitting. Yeah, I just don't know. Let's maybe this navigation stack, we can, maybe that's the way to focus on. I know you had an option for item. Okay, list parks, navigation for park.self. Maybe that's all it is. When somebody clicks the navigation linked for a park, the stack displays the park details view. Yeah, maybe this is all we need. Park.self is the thing in the list. I think ours is scenario summary dot self. Require scenario summary to conform to hash. You can do it automatically for me? No. Come on. You're supposed to provide that for me. Should hash or combine ID. Okay, so we're making it only depend on the ID. Oh, I don't have link on there, do I? Where's the example? Navigation link. Well, that seems a little weird. So the list shows that, I don't know. Park name, that must be the value in the list. And the value of the thing. I mean, navigation link should be, I mean, if you just put it in a list, it would show up as an item in the list. So I'm wondering if this will be kind of like the title and we won't need the other. But yeah, I don't know. I got to figure out the accessibility trait too. So I think that is that. If I click anywhere, I make it the same as that. Unlabeled. Well, it's kind of stinks. But it's kind of doing something. Yeah, I don't know if I can. There must be a way to make a clickable item. The screen you open to show a selected graph like a key for display, engaging multiple screens. Yeah. Um, label existing contents. Could I put that all as the label? Stack image text, navigation title. So there's an item detail. Okay, let's. Value as item. I don't know how it gets the name from that or if it just uses the whole item. And this consistently slow startup is kind of not promising to me. Okay, well, it sees something because it's blinking. Ugh. I don't know. Name is like the navigation screen, key for display. Yeah. That didn't blink. That did. But it takes a long pause. And I have no title, which is annoying, but a tap. It's got to tap just long enough. Well, I can get the title, but I'm not impressed. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's a long press. I mean, like I say, we could put the title on. Well, maybe my tap gesture is not needed. Maybe I'm getting in my own way. Theoretically, the link is doing that, right? So. Two, three, four, five, six. I think it's building every view. Okay, yeah, so that was my fault. Okay, I mean, if the scenario name were at the top, um, over. Maybe I should put it in here at the call site. Show callers. No. Okay. Yeah, I think this is acceptable. That wasn't as slow. Right, really needs two title lines. Yeah, I think that's acceptable. The slow start is annoying though. Let's restart. Oops. See if it's quite. Yeah. Okay, so my theory is having to navigate through all these graphs. We're basically generating these 8 graphs plus maybe even the detail graphs. Hopefully those are not. And that's probably why it's so slow. All right, now can we have fun? Did anything? Yeah, some stuff depends on this. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Oh, it's drawing it. I mean, it takes a while to update it. Ooh, that's ugly. Something went out of its range. What's going on there? It's like he's not restricting himself to the width he should do. Huh. I'm not even changing it and it's got a problem. There's a bug for sure. I kind of think it's. I kind of think it's not us. I think it's maybe a grid bug. And I'm just going to tap. I'm not going to change the value. And it seems like sometimes. Tap again, I'll get bad, ugly stuff. No? Zero total. I don't see that that should be a problem. Okay, I mean, it's staying at 9%. Yeah, some of these are just going out of their boundaries. I'm going to put a frame on this thing. Let's put it on here. Oh, min width. Let's do a maximum too. Instead of doing that down here. Those are growing past the maximum. I mean, this one, 2034 is over here. I think this is probably the 2044 that goes with it. These are all over there. All right, I will put it on here then. Well, it's hard to know. but they seem to be locked into their size a bit better. One, 2 seconds. No man. Yeah, 2 seconds is a little sluggish, but it's not totally insane either. I'm liking this a lot though, being able to drag the slider and see the changes. Now, I guess net worth has got the same deal. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, they overlap colors so much you can't see anything. Yeah. I mean, this is that boat. It kills you. Yeah. That's true. It may be a little quicker outside the simulator. Well, we'll take it. I think it's tolerable, for banging through 8 scenarios at once and everything. It's okay. And I think until you really generate those scenarios, that's probably, that's well, you can do a lot of things without generating lots and lots of scenarios. And I think for many purposes like this, you can tell there's 4 bad paths and there's 4 decent paths, and that tells you, like, I can't really afford a boat. It's going to put me $2 million in debt. That's significant. Now, it may be you look at it and you go like, hey, this is 2024. Here's 20 years. I'm at break even almost for it. It's not so bad. Realistically, I'm not going to be riding my boat very often at age 80. Although I had an uncle that kind of did, but but you could make the trade-offs, like, okay, it's the last 10 years of ownership that kill you. So I think this is good. Let's check it in while it's still hot. Okay, so clicking on a net income thumbnail takes you to a full-sized view. Okay, and that's a good thing. Oh. Yeah, you can sell the boat. Yeah, I'll joke about things, but is this needed at this point? Okay. I think we're checked in. All right. So I don't think there's a bit of a performance hit for having the multiple scenarios, and I think we'll just live with that. It's going to be a very limited market. It's not a app I'm going to publish on the store ever. I just don't want the responsibility for other people's retirement and loss of money and all that. Like, no, this is useful for me, useful for my family, but not generally. Okay, these two, growth non-nullable. Another one I thought of on this is instead of none equals 0, provide default that you can set globally. Okay, so I think that'll be a more helpful thing. You just sort of have a default inflation built on everything, and specific ones, investments that have a different ROI or something, you can do that. Okay, so This, I think, is the next thing I want to look at, though. And we'll just explore for a few minutes since we only have 5 minutes. So what I would like it to be is, if you're in this view, I would like each one of these to come with a checkbox on the front. Now, we know which view these are, right? They're just... Let's sort these. Just lay a view. Okay, so lay a view has the icon, the name and amount and all that stuff. Okay, so I just like a toggle on the front. Is it just toggle? Is on, right. That's going to assume that Alea knows that it's on. Which means I have to have a binding to it. Okay, that's gonna be a little tricky. We're binding to the plan wrapped value dot layout. And I think our editing has to talk to the plan. Yeah. So I don't know if we put an action on that thing on the toggle. And is it going to tell the plan? But I don't know if that'll update the toggle on the Leia. I mean, the Leia right now is read only because it's just a simple field. Maybe we need a binding to the Leia too. I think we do. This should be Leia. Actually, yeah, I can make $0, but okay. Well, I think every line. I mean, the most important ones. Well, it would really be nice if I had a scenario like this. And I could just click on the boat. And just one scenario out of a list of scenarios. But I don't think it's any different, if I wanted to turn off this, like there's no need to be different, basically just make everything clickable. If I don't want to look at these scenarios anymore, I just, turn this off and both these go away. And then I have 4 combinations instead of 8. Yeah. I think it should just be all toggleable for the simplest thing. And then you can explore the scenarios without it. And if you toggled this one and you saw all the boat ones go away, and now all of a sudden you look like you're rich in 30 years. I don't know, 2 million may not be. Is that? Yeah, I don't know if you call that rich, but you'll be better off financially. Okay, well, we'll have to see what has to go on there. If we have to pass in both, it may be updating the plan to say this Leia needs to be deactivated. Might be enough. The other thing is Leias don't have a toggle state. They do have IDs. I mean, I suppose we could. A scenario is different from a stream or pool. Well, a scenario is the container for a bunch of alternatives. So I think it's more likely you want to turn off the individual alternatives than remove all the alternatives from your calculations. Um, but I don't know. I mean, I guess you can imagine situations that need any combination of things. But anyway, I'm looking at this. There is ID. We could keep these toggles completely external to our layers, and just manage a dictionary of toggles, or a set of toggles. Which ones are off limits, maybe. I don't know. It depends which way it's easier to toggle things. But if you turn one off, remove its ID, or add its ID to the rejected list, and while you're calculating scenarios, include the rejected list and do it. Or it might be easier to just put it on the Leia and have it there. All right. Well, we'll stop there. We'll pick up tomorrow and see what we can do on these toggles. Thanks for joining today, and have a good evening. 2 to 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow, or 6 to 8:30 p.m. UTC. Take care. Good night.